What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we are going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over Ms. Marvel, and we pick up with Volume 4. Volume 4 is known as The Last Days, and this is a very important book because this takes place right before Secret Wars, which we are actually covering right now at our Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers series. But either way, this book is honestly great because it does wrap up a lot of loose ends from our earlier volumes, but also kind of treats the last issue as the last day on Earth for Ms. Marvel, and it's done so well. So guys, I do hope you enjoy today's comic book video, and if you do, hit that like button down below and subscribe. But here we go, Ms. Marvel, Last Days. So to begin today's video, we actually pick up with Ms. Marvel number 16. Now with this issue right here, we learned that it has been some time since our last video, about 3 weeks. And if you are new to my channel and just watching this video, I do recommend going back and watching the last one or just watching the whole entire playlist for Ms. Marvel. But the reason why I'm saying that because in our last video, Kamala Khan met a boy named Cameron, and she thought that Cameron was a good guy, and matter of fact, she really did like him and hoping to become his girlfriend. But come to find out that he is an evil Inhuman and he is working for someone known as Lineage, who wants to use the Inhumans as a way to take over the Earth. And so this is her kind of still feeling sad about that moment because she really did like Cameron and she thought it was going to go somewhere and hopefully have a boyfriend, but to only end up having that guy to become another supervillain for her to fight against. But that is the moment where she has to stop thinking about Cameron and actually deal with a different situation. Because the reason why I say that is you have a lot of people running away and she has no idea what in the world is happening. Why is everyone running away from a certain direction? And so with that, she does change into her Ms. Marvel outfit to actually travel across the river to go figure out what in the world has everyone freaking out for, because it is not a small crowd. It's a big group of people just running away, and she has no idea what in the world is going on. And that is the moment where she finds out that there is an Earth about to crash into the main Marvel Universe Earth. Of course, this means that this is an incursion. And matter of fact, we are actually learning about these incursions right now in our Jonathan Hickman Avengers and New Avengers videos. So go check those out as well. But either way, you actually have her right now freaking out because she sees an Earth about to crash into the main Marvel Universe Earth. And usually when that happens around this time in Marvel Comics, if both Earths collide, that means both universes of each Earth is also gone as well, which means we're about to see two universes say goodbye in a matter of hours. And so of course, she knows why everyone is freaking out now. Now for Ms. Marvel, she has no idea what in the world is going on, because remember, she is still a new superhero. She is not on the Avengers at all, but she does know one thing. With the world about to end, of course, people are going crazy, and there are two kinds of people in this world. The first ones are the ones who go into hiding or run away, and the second kind are the people who believe in doing crimes because they know the world is about to end. There is going to be no punishment except death at the end of the world. And so right now they're trying to live what they think the best moments of their lives. And so right now you have people going around committing crimes left and right. And so Ms. Marvel begins the process of checking up on different people, but trying to get them to a safe spot. And so she goes to Bruno first. And when she goes to Bruno, of course, she comes to find out that Bruno and his brother Vic have been protecting his store from different looters. Now, you do have Bruno actually tell Miss Marvel you need to go check up on your family. They could be hurt or something. And of course, she does leave. And things are only going to get worse for Miss Marvel, because when she gets home, that is the moment she realized no one is answering her call. And when she turns the corner into her house, she is confronted by Cameron. And remember, Cameron was the big bad guy in our last video. He was the guy she really liked and thought he'll become her new boyfriend. But of course, he became a bad guy who is working for a different bad guy known as Lineage. And their group of bad guys are trying to use Inhumans as a way to take over the Earth. Now, they wanted Kamala Khan to actually join them, but of course, she said no. But with her saying no, they said, fine, we'll just grab a different family member who is also an Inhuman. Of course, that person is her brother. Her brother is also an Inhuman. And so with that, they're going to give him the Terrigen Mist that usually unlocks Inhumans' powers, and hopefully he'll join their side to take over the Earth. And right now, she can't do anything because she knows if she fights against Cameron, she'll never find her brother. He already been kidnapped and placed somewhere else. And so Cameron tells her, just stay here, take care of your parents, and yeah, later, bye. Now, Kamala Khan's parents finally come down and they want to know what in the world is going on. But you have Kamala Khan realizing she can't tell them that, hey, the Earth is about to end. On top of that, your son, my brother, has been kidnapped. The only thing she can do is say, hey, go to my school. My school is right now being used as a shelter. Go there, stay there, because that is technically the safe zone from the world right now, from the city, sorry. And so she leaves because now she must go out there in the city to save other people's lives, but to also find her brother and get him somewhere safe as well. Now, I highly recommend you guys to actually go check out our last video because you do have the school actually be protected by a spell that Loki left behind. Remember, in our last video, Loki actually came to the high school looking for any more bad guys that could possibly be working for the Inventor, Miss Marvel's first bad guy. But when he got there, of course, he was playing around, he was stopped by Miss Marvel, but before he left a protection spell for the whole high school from bad guys. And right now, when looters try to come back to fight against Bruno and different characters who are part of that high school, well, of course, Loki's spell works and begins the process of actually protecting the school from anybody else. And so by the time Miss Marvel gets there, well, their problems have been handled thanks to Loki's spell. Now, you do have Bruno actually show Kamala Khan what is going on inside the school. Of course, the school is being used as a shelter, and he is showing her all the different resources they were able to grab to make this a useful place for some people to stay at. But for Kamala Khan, she kind of feels down right now because the world is ending and she really can't do anything about that. And on top of that, her brother has been kidnapped and she has no idea where to look for him. And so when she goes to the rooftop, hoping to get some fresh air and to clear her mind, well, that is the moment where she is finally going to meet the one character she always looked up to. That character, of course, is Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Now we do jump over to Miss Marvel number 17, and this is huge because this is Kamala Khan actually meeting her idol. Remember, when it comes to Kamala Khan in the very beginning of our videos, she was a big Avengers fan, and so for her to right now meet Carol Danvers, the one person she cared about the most, it's huge for her. She's kind of like, oh my gosh, Carol Danvers is here. But on top of that, remember, Kamala Khan took the name Miss Marvel, and that name used to belong to Carol Danvers when she was a hero at first. But either way, you have Carol Danvers here as a way to make sure that other cities are doing okay, because she knows what is going on. She's part of the Avengers. She knows almost everything about the Incursions. She knows the Earth is about to be wiped out and nothing can be done to save it. And so right now, it's really Carol Danvers saying, hey, listen, I'm just here to help out, make sure everyone's okay, but I'm about to leave later. But then you have Kamala Khan actually ask Carol Danvers, can she help her find her brother, Amir? Because Amir has been kidnapped and she wants to actually find her brother just in case the world does not end. And at first you have Carol Khan like, no, I cannot help out. I'm trying to save the Earth. That's more important than your brother. But of course, she kind of feels bad for Kamala Khan and agreed to actually help Kamala Khan find her brother. Now, you don't have the book actually dive into the idea of using these two characters to go around to find clues that could lead them to find Amir. Instead, you actually have the book being used as a way for these characters to make the city better. What I mean is, remember, with the Earth about to end, you have people out there doing crimes because they know the Earth is going to end. They're not scared of punishment because the Earth is about to be wiped out. But you have Carol Danvers and Miss Marvel actually come by to more looters and saying, what are y'all doing? Use your skills as a way to make the world a better place, to make the city a better place. Because just in case the world does not get destroyed, do you want to be on the bad side or the good side? Because if you're on the bad side, there is a possibility you'll go to jail. So why not use your skills to actually help make the city better for the time being? And so these looters actually go to help out the school, get more resources and fix more things like technology because, hey, they need all hands on deck. Now, we do see Kamala Khan and Carol Danvers actually go to the pier. And the reason why, because in our last video, this is the same pier that Cameron had kidnapped Kamala Khan at. And so for Kamala Khan, maybe Cameron has some kind of storage unit and he's keeping Amir in that storage, and so they need to find him. But that is the moment where they're confronted by Kaboom. Now, we've met Kaboom in our last video as well. Kaboom works with Cameron and the two of them work for their boss Lineage. But for Kaboom, she's kind of like the weakest link in that group because you easily have Carol Danvers and Miss Marvel actually defeat her and begin the process of telling her, you need to tell me where we can find Cameron and my brother Amir. Where is Cameron actually holding him? And you have Kaboom just easily tell Kamala Khan, okay, fine, the two of them are in that warehouse right there. Now, once they get inside the warehouse, that is the moment they realize they're too late. And the reason why, because Cameron had begun the process of actually using the Terrigen Mist on Amir. Remember, the Terrigen Mist is what unlocks the Inhumans' powers. At first, they're just your basic human beings, but to unlock their powers, they must go through the Terrigen Mist process. And right now, that is what's happening to Amir. He's going through the Terrigen Mist process to unlock his inhuman powers. Now, when we jump over to Miss Marvel number 18, I do want to point out that Amir is actually very special. And the reason why I say that is because usually when an Inhuman goes through the Terrigen Mist process, they usually pass out. And then their body is trapped inside some kind of cocoon. And when they break out of that cocoon, that is when they have their powers. But here comes the problem with Amir. He's not going inside cocoon. Like, he passes out from the Terrigen Mist and then his powers activate just like that. And so you have Kamala Khan wondering, hey, Karan, what did you do to my brother? I think you did something wrong. He's not going inside some kind of cocoon. He's just floating in midair, and it looks like his powers have actually activated. But of course, for Cameron, he's kind of like, who cares? The dude has powers now, and I can use those powers to help my group take over the world. And so, of course, that is the moment there is a big kind of explosion thanks to Amir. Now, this is a big moment because once you actually have Amir wake up completely, he realized, hey, I have powers and I have some kind of psychic force fields around me. But that is the moment he realized that Cameron was the one that kind of turned on his powers. But this moment right here is actually very important because we learn Amir never wanted powers. He hated the superhero world. He's kind of like, dude, I just want to be a regular dude, a regular man who gets married and move on with his life. That's all I wanted. And basically you forced me, Cameron, you forced me into some kind of Terrican mist that unlocked my powers. And now I have some kind of psychic force field powers that, again, I did not ask for. On top of that, I still don't like you because I can tell you did something to my sister weeks ago. Of course, he's kind of going back to how Kamala Khan had been acting between our two videos. But either way, you actually have Amir and Cameron fight against each other while Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan just watch. Now, this is not a big fight where you have two characters going all out and everything gets so epic. It honestly ends in about like 1 page because you have Amir being able to just throw Cameron on the ground to knock him out, and that is it. And then Amir also passes out as well. Now, I do want to mention one more thing before we actually move on, and it comes from Carol Danvers because she says there's a possibility Amir is not inhuman at all. And the reason why she says that is because he did not go through the cocoon process like Kamala Khan did, or like most Inhumans go through. And so the reason why she is saying that is because of that. But she says the Terrican Mist did activate his powers, but in a different way, more kind of like a allergic reaction kind of way. But either way, you do have Kamala Khan actually take her brother back to the school to make sure he is okay by some kind of school nurse or doctor. Now, once they're able to actually get to the school, you do have Kamala Khan pass her brother off to Bruno to take him inside to make sure he is okay. But then you have Carol Danvers actually wanting to leave because, again, she kind of has to, because the Avengers are all needed right now to deal with the incursion problem. But you actually have Carol Danvers say, hey, listen, you know, you're a great hero. You did a good job today. I do want to mention again that what is happening right now in Manhattan is basically the end for the whole entire universe. But I do want to give you some kind of locket. Now, this locket actually has both symbols of both Carol Danvers and Ms. Marvel on it. But the locket is actually a GPS as a way for Carol Danvers to kind of check up on Kamala Khan if they are actually able to save the Earth from being destroyed. Of course, we know that's not going to happen. But either way, you do kind of have this goodbye between Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan. But really, it's a good goodbye. And also Kamala Khan finally getting the torch passed on to her by Carol Danvers. And so that is why I really like this moment very well. And this actually lead us up into the big moment of the book. The one I was kind of like, oh my God. And the reason why I say that is because it's not Kamala Khan actually going inside to make sure her brother is okay. No, it comes after that, because once she leaves the room, that is when she is confronted by her parents, who had finally arrived at the school, but they got word that something happened to their son. And so you have Kamala Khan's father actually go inside to make sure that his son is okay. But while his son is inside, of course, the mom is upset because she's kind of like, where were you? Why weren't you around to actually protect your brother? What has been going on? I want answers, Kamala Khan. What has been going on with you these last few weeks? And that is the moment where you actually have Kamala Khan tell her mom that she is Miss Marvel. But on top of that, that is the moment where you actually have Kamala Khan's mom say, I already knew. I've been known this whole time. Now, when we jump into Miss Marvel number 19, I must say I love this book so much. And the reason why I do is because the way the book was treated. What I mean is, the book was kind of treated like this could be the very last issue of Miss Marvel, because this leads us right into Secret Wars. And the rumors around this time in Marvel Comics was Secret Wars was supposed to be a way to reboot the Marvel Universe completely. But of course, Marvel did not do that. But with that being said, the way this book is treated is kind of like, hey, this is going to be a goodbye to Miss Marvel, because there could be a possibility of a reboot. But either way, it's Kamala Khan's mom saying, hey, I've been known you were Miss Marvel. It was kind of obvious. Every time you were somewhere, of course, Miss Marvel appears. You kept sneaking out at night, and I kind of like, yeah, she's Miss Marvel. And so this is her mom saying, I've been known, and honestly, I'm proud of you. Because I realize you are doing great things. You're going actually out there to help different people in need. And that is something I'm honored to say my daughter does for the world. And it's kind of like, dang, that's a good part. That's a good moment right there. Now, her dad has no idea. Her dad has no idea that she is Miss Marvel. He comes out, he's angry about what happened to his son and everything else. But honestly, it's just a good moment between Miss Marvel and her mother. Now, we do get into the awkward moment of this book. Not really awkward, but kind of like, okay, Bruno, this is your time to shine. Because remember, Bruno had been having a crush on Kamala Khan throughout this whole series, and he has not once actually told her. And so when she asked him, if there's anything he could do differently before the world ends, Bruno says, honestly, I would just go to an arcade, play games all day, but with you. Matter of fact, I will go anywhere with you. And Kamala Khan knows, oh yeah, that's right. Bruno likes me, I like him, but unfortunately, I can't tell him I'm not brave enough. I'm not ready to have this conversation because the world is about to end. And so she walks away to go to the school gym. Now, Kamala Khan actually runs into Zoe. Now remember, Zoe was the girl Kamala Khan saved in our very first video. And the way Zoe was kind of given to us, it made it seem like she was that popular girl who pretended to be friends with everyone, but at the same time, she was kind of mean to girls and guys who weren't really popular. And so this is Zoe kind of coming over to Kamala Khan and just saying sorry for how the way she acted, because with the world ending, it's making people realize about their past actions, being like, hey, I was a jerk at that moment and also that time as well. Maybe I should go over there and actually apologize for the way I acted in the past. And so right now, that's what Zoe's doing, and Kamala Khan's kind of like, yeah, I understand, and thank you for finally apologizing for being a jerk. But then you have Kamala Khan actually go check up on Nakia. Now remember, Nakia is the other best friend of Kamala Khan. There's Bruno and there's also Nakia. Now Nakia has no idea that Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel. And matter of fact, I really thought at this moment right here, Kamala Khan was going to tell Nakia that she is Miss Marvel. Her mom now knows, Bruno knows. Why not tell your other best friend that you are Miss Marvel? But of course, she does not. But Nakia is kind of upset with Kamala Khan because she knows something is up with Kamala Khan, because Kamala Khan is always missing, always doing something, and not always telling Nakia the truth. But either way, these two characters are actually able to make amends with one another and continue to be friends later on in this issue. Now, this leads us right into the biggest moment of the book, I say, Kamala Khan and Bruno having that conversation where they tell each other that they love each other, which to me, I was kind of like, man, just straight up love each other right off the bat. Like, y'all should date first to make sure you actually love each other, but you know, teenagers. Anyways, you do have Bruno and Kamala Khan actually tell each other they love each other, which is huge for these two characters, because we could tell all series long that these two had feelings for one another. Now, you would think that these two characters would actually get together because they just admitted they had feelings for each other. But in reality, you have Kamala Khan actually tell Bruno she can't be with him. And it's not because of her religion or her parents. It's because of her being Miss Marvel. Because she realized she must put everything she has into being Miss Marvel. It's her trying to be a hero, trying to protect their city. And for Bruno, he understands. Even though he loves this woman so much and he cares for her and wants to be with her, he understands that she's a hero. And right now, a hero life comes first than her love life. And so the book really ends with a big bright light, letting us know the incursions have actually happened. The Earths are being destroyed, but these two are saying their love to each other. And that is how the book ends. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please hit the like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoyed today's comic book video.